Hey, welcome back to another exciting episode of In the Chute with Kaylin and the boss, Lisa, and me. Kaylin, what have you got for the boss?
All right, another very special episode because I needed my mother's input. Clothing, special boot brands, special paints, shirts, hats. Are you tied to the branding of said products? Because I'm asking mom, and why is that, mom? Why am I asking you about clothing for going shopping?
Your dad doesn't know what a clothing store is.
And
So
how
for
long have you been
30
shopping for
plus
him?
years, actually, we were dating when it started. So over 30 years, he's not bought a shirt for himself. I have forced him, to go to the store with me a couple times and said, okay, go put these on. But he does not get to pick them. I pick them and hand them to him.
Now, what are your
And
parameters for when you go to get shirts for him?
oh my God. First of all, he has to wear long sleeves because he's outside and because of the sun. So he's got to wear long sleeves. The only reason you might see him in a short sleeve is because the elbow on his sleeve.
Look,
Oh,
that's
this
a
is a new shirt.
that's
Oh
a
my
dirty
gosh.
lie. All my elbows and my
All the
shirts are all
elbows
all
are
there.
gone. So we just this summer started hacking them off at wherever it ripped. So he's got some very long,
She's
short
mutilating my
sleeved
favorite
shirts
shirts
now. So the parameters are you go to a local establishment that carries Western shirts
and feed
and feed, yeah,
and
and
oil.
fencing and oil. So it's not going to be like a top of the line uh
That is top of the line.
There's some pretty good
courtier.
shirts in there. I beg to
Oh, they
differ.
there are good shirts in
Yeah,
there, but I'm just
Okay.
saying that it's not like you're going to the mall,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
God.
right? Okay.
When would you
And
go to the mall?
are you going to let me tell this story?
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
There are things at the mall I like though. Anywho, that's where you're going. You go to the Western wear clothing area. Plaid and stripe, well, a couple solids, I guess you do have, are the thing. The ones I like, I'm drawn to something that has some kind of a pattern to it. I like paisleys, I like geometrics. I'll find one that has really good color that'll look good on dad, and it's a button up. He will not wear a button up.
And
I
I'm
have
the
bought
opposite.
him.
I
I
won't
have
do snaps.
I've bought him button ups and they hang in the closet. And I'll say, well, hey, you want to wear this? He gives me this look. So they have to have snaps, they have to be long sleeved. And then dad has, and you've been gifted with this as well, monkey arms.
Yep.
So I got to find the right length.
Yep.
And then he's tall. So I have to get a tall, or otherwise they don't tuck in very well. It's a struggle.
Yeah.
And then, the colors, I got to find colors that I like.
I had colors when we met.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to know about dad and what he thought color was when I first met him?
Probably white and black.
He didn't have any black shirts, but of course, black would be included. He had white, he had blue, and he had brown. And if you were to go to
That's
his
it.
closet, that was it. He had
All right.
nothing else. I bought him his first pink shirt that looked awesome on him, I should say. And he's like, a pink shirt. I don't know if I can wear a pink shirt. I said, shut up and put it on. And he put it on and
I should have known then.
it looked really good on him. And he got so many compliments from the ladies that he's like, oh, you know what? I think maybe a pink shirt's not a bad
Yep.
idea.
Yep.
I was just keeping my options open.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
Now, so kind of like you said, the whole monkey arms thing. Normally, thankfully, I've got a little bit broader shoulders, so I can get away with a larger size for me. Normally, I would probably wear a medium, but I
Right.
normally get large because it helps with my arms. Otherwise, I'm gonna have things like riding up my forearms, and it's just not fun.
Yeah.
Then I might as well get a short sleeve, and because I'd be rolling up the sleeves constantly. But I also tend to go towards for pants, I'll do Wranglers and then Carhartts for the work pants. And then for shirts, I prefer Ariats. I don't really like Wrangler shirts. I like the Ariats because they got the one pocket and they have now the new technology,
Oh,
they got some stretchy material to them. So
right.
it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So that's why I do Ariats or Cinch. But yeah, that's why I asked, like, are you tied to the branding for specifics?
Well, no. there's a couple brands that tend to fit what he likes. Wrangler's one. Here's another requirement that I forgot to mention. It's the pocket.
Yeah.
Your dad was the only person I have ever known, other than a couple of potential engineers I went to high school with, that carries a pen and pencil set in his pocket and has always. So he has to have that little
How many times have
hole.
you borrowed said pen or pencil?
I didn't say it wasn't handy. I just said you're unique.
I mean, that goes back to what Dad and I filmed yesterday, which was everyday carry. We forgot to mention that you have a pen and pencil set on you at all times.
Except
but-
today.
Except
So-
today. Yeah.
So
That's
I
smart.
hear him gripe and moan. We bought a couple shirts, and you were with me, I think, when I got these, and we got them home, washed them. He put one on. He's like, "Oh no, there's not a hole for my pen and pencil set."
I bet you
so-
made one.
Not yet. He asked me, he said, "Can you?" And I said, "Yeah, probably."
Well, yeah, you have to.
Anyway, he's a little delicate. He needs to have
You got to
everything
have
just
pockets
right.
that actually work too. You can't have these little sissy little show pockets. They need to have something you can get some stuff into
Yeah, he has.
and a cover.
Okay, so women carry a purse.
'Cause
He
I'm-
carries everything in these front two pockets, so that anytime he leans over, it all falls
They
on
all
the
fall
ground.
out. Yeah.
Well,
And then
now,
he starts.
why do I put them in my pocket? Because I have worked my body to the bone and hurt my back, and I
I-
can't put a wallet back there.
I
Should they put
specifically
food
recall
and sustenance and clothes on your kid's back.
when
That's
somebody
how I have
first got a
sacrificed
smartphone.
myself.
I specifically recall said smartphone going in front pocket and always falling underneath a horse, and the cussing and the griping and the anger that would follow.
I
was
remember that too,
consistent.
Kaylin.
Yeah.
Why did you
Has
do
it
that?
changed?
Why did you curse like that? I don't get it.
It's not changed. No.
Yeah. I
No.
figured not.
A favorite though is we're drilling a fence post hole, and he leans down to get the rest of the dirt out, and there goes the cell phone down the hole.
I was filming the depth just to make sure
Yeah,
it was
that's
okay.
what it
How's
was.
that?
Yeah.
Filming the
Good
depth.
job. Hats. What about do you pick out hats for Dad or is that
No.
for
No.
him only?
That's
Yes.
for him, because that's
What's-
got to be just right.
Is
It's like
there-
Now-
picking on your underwear.
So is
I
there
will
a
suggest
branding
Chute.
tie to that
Sometimes I
either?
pick my
Or do
underwear,
you just
so.
Who's gonna go get them? Because you're not
Oh,
going to a
okay.
store to get them, or
this
socks.
conversation has devolved so bad.
Okay, well, be good. Sorry.
But the hat he has to pick. Although I'll say, "Hey, I like that shape," and he'll think, or "Okay,
Yeah, of course.
I like it."
Because he probably doesn't like the square shape, does he?
No,
No.
like
Mhm.
square-toed boots. Those
Yeah.
are for girls.
I like the squares.
Of course you do. Good God. You
Is
and
there so is,
Square
is
toes
there
better
is
for
there a
wide
brand?
feet.
Is there a brand you're tied to for your hat or for your boots? Because I'm gonna go on a limb and say that you won't let Mom pick out your boots for you.
No,
No,
can't do that
she
either.
can't. Well, you gotta. I mean, you gotta fit that, and I
Yeah.
need the right heel.
He
you know-
wears a higher heel than I'd ever think of wearing any day of the week.
Hey, we were wearing high heels and scarves 150 years ago. Nobody.
You're a little different than the rest of
Yeah,
the kids,
no,
too, aren't you?
boots.
I have
are-
a feeling if you sent
yeah.
Mom in to go cry and get you boots anyway, let's assume the sizing would work just fine, right? You would know. Okay,
I
it's
could find
exactly
what he
11
needed.
all
She
the
would
time.
know it. She'd be able to pick it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
You think
Because
so?
he needs a
Even with the
riding
heel?
heel.
She'd go and talk to
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah, because
Oh,
he needs
okay.
a riding heel. And
Well,
I need
then
I
that's
need a
just-
heel
If you-
for stirrup.
if you go to
imagine-
someone who knows what a riding heel is, they'll.
Yeah,
get
but
the right
imagine
one.
you don't know that person. You're going into somewhere like I
I
don't know.
could do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
she
because
probably
I
could.
have a feeling it would have been closer to like when Dad sends you into the liquor store to look for a bottle with
Oh my
label
God.
colored black.
Oh my God. That was so funny because I couldn't. I
She'd
don't
keep-
drink liquor.
She'd keep bringing these errant bottles
I'd-
of whiskey home.
I'd bring in bottles of whiskeys. And
Not a bad problem.
no, why did you bring me that? I thought it'd be nice. Yeah, I don't like that kind of whiskey. It's a blend.
Please tell me she brought you like Rich and Reserve or something from
Oh,
like
God,
a
no.
Canadian before.
No,
She
no,
had
No,
to
no,
brought
no,
you
no, no, no.
Canadians.
It was like Jim Beam.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so
okay.
and
Yeah.
so then he gave me the little rhyme. And when I remembered the poem, and I could remember the poem, but I couldn't remember.
Do you remember the poem now?
I have a little friend. His name is Jack. He lives in a bottle whose label is black.
It's
Or
pretty
And-
close.
Coldplay, yeah.
That's good enough.
And so I was like, I can remember that. But then I go to get it for him, like we have a special occasion.
Squirrel. Look at all these bottles. They're pretty.
Yeah.
Shiny.
and they don't. Any of them taste good. So I'd go
Well,
in and
the
I'd
one
say,
that Dad's requesting definitely doesn't taste good. That's for
I-
sure.
I'd
Well,
say, hey,
yeah, I
need,
haven't drank a lot of Jack.
I need that, and then he'd say, well, what do you need? And I said, oh, not the really big bottle, but the one below it. I don't even know the sizes, and they always look at me funny, but
I
I
haven't
I
drank
don't do
Jack
that.
in a long time. Now that I've got a more of a refined palate,
Well,
Yeah,
somebody,
no, you don't.
and oh yeah, I like
somebody's
Angel's
introduced
Envy.
him to a whole lot more
Yeah.
expensive ones.
Yeah.
That's the thing is that was the whole limiter right there. Get the best thing you could for the cheapest you could, and you're not getting like Old Crow and things like that. You're getting Jack was pretty popular. You can get it anywhere.
Which
But
now that I've been around the world a little bit, I can get you something cheaper and taste even better. So there you go.
there you go. It's all about knowing what to look for.
Hey, just like your clothing. So we're not
Yeah.
tied to a brand, but there are very specific parameters that Mom has to stick to in order to make Dad happy. So with that, we will take that out to pasture.